by the fridge.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, on the fridge. Right?
Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of cTalks Live Sundays. Thank you for your patience and bearing with us, but we're here. We've got exciting new topics for you guys. Just let us know how the sound is right now, if we can get some feedback. We just want to make sure the sound's coming in real good. Also, please hit the subscribe button right here. It should be right here, like on my feet. Hit the subscribe button. We appreciate the love. Once you hit the subscribe button, you're gonna get messages about new content that we have coming up. So we just don't want you guys to miss out on great fun content. Also, if you want to chat with us, share your thoughts and ideas, just hit the chat, live chat button. But if you cannot see it, it means you're not in the YouTube app. So get into the YouTube app, go into our channel, cTalk, and you should be able to actually live chat with us during the show. So how's this sound? It sounds fine. I appreciate that. Okay, so today we've got Rico. Say hi, Rico.
Hello.
We've got Patricia. Say hi, Patricia.
Hello.
And then we've got John S.
Everyone.
And I'm John O. All right, so we're gonna hop right into the topics. The very first topic's pretty interesting. It goes, when my girlfriend and I have a disagreement, even though I know I'm right and she's wrong, I take the L. I still take the L just to keep the peace. Will this strategy backfire on me?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Go ahead.
That's interesting. Okay. Why do you say yes?
Over the years, in my adult life, I just realized that the more you baby people and make them think that their actions are right when they're wrong, that doesn't allow them to grow. They will never grow if they always have people defending their actions, or if they can't even take accountability for their actions. No, everybody needs to be an adult and accept, their accountability. That's just how I feel.
I think it honestly depends on the situation, because it depends on the magnitude of it, because from a guy's perspective, you want as much peace as possible. And most of the time you have to take an L for that, but I think you have to decide when to pick and choose when you need to take this L. How important is this conversation going to be in a year from now, 2 years from now? So I think that determines when you decide to take this L. But for me personally, I like peace and quiet. I like to live a stress-free relationship. At least I try.
So you're taking the L's all the time?
No, hell fuck.
Are men the only ones who take the L's? Because I feel as women, we literally we want to get
I can't think of a situation where women take the L's.
I take L's. I have taken L's just because, you want to make your man think he's right even when he may not be right.
Yeah.
And you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been before.
We do it. We just don't tell you we do it, and maybe I'm giving too many secrets
I
out.
always felt like men do that.
Women do it too, but I feel like women don't tell it because it's kind of demeaning or demasculating the man. Yeah. So we don't want to take down that pride or your ego or whatever, so we'll let you have it.
Yes.
Or we don't say nothing.
Or we make them think that they were right or they were in the conversation and you didn't.
No, but I would say don't do that unless if you're gonna make them feel right at that moment in time, that's okay. But later on, bring it up and then maybe pillow talk or something, and actually explain it to them in detail. Because I work off logic, so most of the time, in my conversations, when we have arguments, one of the things I try and show is hey, this is the logical aspect of it. Let me explain to you why what you're saying is incorrect. But I also understand that women have emotions, so you have to kind of pick and choose what side you go on, depending on the situation.
Not only women that have emotions, men too, I feel like. And I feel like for me, speaking for example, experience, I've done that in a sense of where I dealt with a man that was kind of more, kind of insecure in a sense. Yeah. So I had to dial myself down because I'm too upfront and I'm very confrontational and I speak my mind. Yeah. So I feel like...
Is that healthy?
I feel like it's healthy in a respectful way.
Yes.
In a respectful way. I feel like you have to have that understanding. But at the same time too, you may be dating somebody that doesn't have that understanding, which you have to dial it down, which I've done that. But I wouldn't necessarily agree. I like that logic where he's saying, later on, communicate and tell them what's going on. I would rather have that. But not every relationship is like that.
Yeah, I totally like that, and I agree with what y'all said. I think it's important to not have an argument or a disagreement while the emotion is high, because a lot of times you end up talking but not really hearing each other.
Right.
So when you divert to later on when everything's kind of like mellowed out a little bit, you can actually hear each other and actually have a real conversation.
Because I'm a good believer in, like, you don't want to have the conversation extend to the next day, but there are certain situations that it's better to take a back seat and be like, you know what, let's continue this tomorrow. But you have to find a middle ground where you go to in the argument or in the conversation where you can actually do that. You know?
What is it about the next day that I've heard that before?
That's lingering issues because I feel like you haven't come to a middle ground.
Yeah.
So it's lingering.
Because, like, I will guarantee you this, women will be like, let's say I sleep peacefully well, you know what I'm saying, like during the argument, after the argument, whatever. But I've had situations where a woman's up all night and she's looking at me sleeping and how is this motherfucker able to sleep after this argument we just had? And from me perspective, I ain't tripping shit. We argue, whatever, I go to sleep, have a great day. Tomorrow's a new day, you start off. But like, it lingers in a woman's mind most of the time and it's like, okay, we haven't been in this argument. In her mind, she's still thinking about it. Like, she probably wants to, like, you know, push you off the bed a little bit so that, you know, so things like that. So it does happen sometimes, from time to time. But,
Gotcha.
yeah.
One of the viewers, Mr. Ade Daltoon, says, yep, the most times for peace to reign. I guess he's agreeing that it is good to take the L just so you can have peace.
I agree. I just think that both parties take the L, but the other party may not know that they're doing it. Like,
I mean, in a relationship, you have to compromise certain
Exactly.
things.
Yeah,
So
he did say in between, he said, let her win, but say your point in between and say sorry at the end.
Respectfully.
yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the most difficult things with these kind of situations is actually hearing each other. So y'all brought up great points in terms of, like, you know, when to fall back and when to actually make your point be heard. It can be healthy to take the L at the moment, but then you can still get that W at the end. I guess. Is that a good way to look at it?
You know?
Or,
Maybe.
No.
But now I do think that there are some situations where you need to let it linger, because you may have a hard-headed girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, or whatever
True.
that needs that time for things to marinate, because not everybody
Gets
can
it right
attack it at that same moment or the same day. Do you think that's something that?
I agree.
So I agree. Yeah.
But I feel like it should be a healthy lingering, not it lingers and you're
What's a healthy linger?
angry and like not communicate. You know, like you have a conversation and you guys didn't get to a middle ground, so you guys are like this. It's like a hostile environment after that or something.
Oh, gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, quiet is good. It's good.
I think in order to do that, you have to think about, you can't say, oh, I need some time to think about it and not communicate that to your other partner. I think that's important. Like, if you need time, I believe in taking as much time as you need. If you need time, linger, whatever, talk about it within yourself and come back to me. We have a full-on conversation about it. That's fine. But you have to communicate that to me, and I have to communicate that back to you. You know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that part's essential if you're going about that route.
Can y'all think of a situation where taking an L is absolutely everything, and it can still actually like keep the relationship healthy?
yeah, and I feel like men kind of do that more in that aspect. But
So you agree with my point earlier?
I mean, yeah, but I feel like that's being a man though. Like, I'm not trying to say like, you know, being a man,
So
you have
men
to
do
always
have-
take L, but
want men to
you
take more L's than
I apologize. Like, I don't have a problem with apologizing. Like, I heard like a lot of women have a problem with apologizing. Like,
Oh,
if
that's
I'm
fine.
wrong, I accept when I'm wrong. I don't have any problem saying like when I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I don't know about that because I apologize when I'm wrong. So
Well, like saying it and actually doing actions that show that you actually are showing that you're,
apologetic.
two different.
Oh, if I don't mean that I'm sorry, I won't say it.
true.
I get your point.
Yeah,
too,
I'm
'cause
not about to-
some people
yeah.
listen by seeing, which is your actions.
Well, you gotta listen to understand and comprehend, not listen to just respond. So,
Yeah.
that's why you can't talk about stuff when you're mad and stuff like that. But I also agree that sometimes you really can't go to sleep on it because you don't want to go to sleep with a heavy heart.
Yeah.
So I believe in hitting stuff right when it happens and talking about it because that's just how I am. I don't know.
Me too. I'll get out the way.
Yeah, let me get it out the way while it's fresh. You can't think about nothing. We about to talk about this right now.
Yeah. So Babatunde says communication is certainly key.
Yes.
Black
Yes.
men don't cheat.
I'm dead.
Oh, because you got the shirt
Yeah.
on. That's why. I was like, wait, what? I mean, black men don't cheat.
We don't.
Or lie. They don't cheat or
Don't
lie.
cheat, don't lie.
cheat, don't lie.
We take L's all the time.
100% honest.
We have no problem with it. All right, so that was good feedback on that topic. I don't see a lot of interaction yet. Do we have viewers? Viewers, y'all have anything to say about this topic?
Let us
Go
know.
ahead and chime in. We can get back to it, but for now, we're gonna hop on to the next topic. This one's interesting. It says, I know we gossip with our partners and talk about our friends and all, but there are some things you should never tell your partner. There are some secrets that your partner has no business knowing. Respect your friends. Anonymous.
I agree.
I totally agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah, because I think like I have a male best friend and a female best friend, right? So my male best friend, he got married a couple of years ago. And I've kind of gotten to understand that most of the time, if I talk to him, I'm also talking to his wife, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but also enables me to pick and choose sometimes. Because it's kind of hard to tell somebody, hey, this conversation, don't tell your wife. It doesn't make any sense because they are one. So
They're
it's
union.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So my personal privacy should not affect whatever they have going on. So I think it depends on the kind of relationship that they have with each other. Because some
Right.
people, I think a lot of women want to be able to tell their partners everything. Like that's the level of comfortability they want, that's the level of connection that they want.
Is that a woman thing, or it's just a
No,
depends on the
That's a
person?
connection thing. Like
No, like I think like
Yeah.
people get there. Like you find people that have not met the right people and they have a philosophy that I don't need to tell my partner everything, whatever. But if you truly find like real love and the person that you're meant to be with, well, I don't believe in true love, but like if you find someone that works,
Wow.
if you find someone that works out for you, does not disturb you, respects you,
Not disturb you.
all these extra
Not disturb you.
all these extra difficulties, you know, like I think that, and someone that you're comfortable with and have that open line of communication, I think you actually end up being able to talk to them about almost everything.
Okay.
But if you're in a situation like that, you have to specify, hey, guy, this is between me and you. Because there are some common sense conversations.
Right, that's what I feel like.
So as the friend, would you get upset knowing that you confided in your homie and he still told his wife?
Maybe
Would
the
you be upset?
first time, but I think you get used to, you understand the relationship that both of them have.
Okay, so if you knew that, regardless of what I tell him, he's still gonna share it with his wife, would that stop you from talking to him about
It's
stuff?
on you.
I think you make a
Yeah,
decision.
that is on you.
Make a decision like, okay, maybe I won't share this aspect of it. Maybe I won't tell them the whole story. Maybe tell them a little bit,
A little
80%. You know what I mean? So it's just a choice you have to make, you know?
Okay, so my problem has always been that I'm big on like my partner being my friend. Like I believe like a healthy relationship, like you need to build a friendship first. And so with friendships, like that's the person that you want to talk to and tell everything. However, you cannot tell them every single thing because they will judge. Like even though they may not mean to judge. Okay, I've had friends. Like birds of a feather do not always flock together, y'all.
That's
Alright?
true.
It's fine.
So
It's true, but
one of my little hoe friends. I can't tell my man like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to hang out with such and such. He gonna be like,
he gonna look at you like,
right, like what you hanging out with
Yeah.
her for, or
Oh, so
be
you're
good.
things like that. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, be good, or you can't tell them like stuff that happened, with that friend, because then it's just gonna be like they might judge you. They may not want you to be around that person.
See, I've dealt with somebody before that was okay in the sense of they understood. Like, I feel like it's a mental thing. You have to understand that, okay, everybody has their own ways of living life or whatever like
Yeah.
that, and everybody has different friends. So you have to be okay with that and be mature enough to be like, my girl or my guy is not like this
I
person. You know what I'm saying?
agree, yeah.
But for the most case, it's not always like that.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to like,
But I think
not say.
when you circle back, I think trust also plays a major part in that.
Yeah, it
If you
does.
trust the person you're with, you understand that her hanging out with somebody, especially if she is who she is a woman, she knows exactly who she is as a person, her decisions will not be influenced by her friend or whoever plays a major part in it. Because
It
like
does.
most of my friends are older than me, so like some of them are married, some of them are not, and sometimes I'll be the single person chilling, you know what I'm saying? So like, and if the wife doesn't know me that well,
Exactly. How well do you know
they
your
have,
other
they have a perception of me that is
Yeah.
not what it is,
So-
they have-
Trust is like really, it's huge, but at the same time, it's like subconsciously you might be thinking certain stuff about that person just based off the stuff that your partner tells you about that person.
Sure.
So,
I think it's trust and understanding.
Yeah, very much so.
So looking at the chat, Lynn says you shouldn't violate your friend's privacy. It's pretty much what she's getting to. Privacy or trust, like you just said. Author says you can share things with your partner, but make sure your partner has the sense of discretion.
Yeah.
So let's take away partner. Well, let's define partner. Are we talking boyfriend, girlfriend, or are we talking husband and wife? Because the level, I mean, I hate to rely on labels, but I feel like the level of communication and relationship changes once you go into a marriage. Because now when you're talking about a marriage, you're talking about building a foundation where y'all are growing together and communicating in all different avenues and whatever. So, and at that point, your husband, your wife, their viewpoint on pretty much all aspects of your life should at least make, I don't want to say should make you change who you interact with or what you do, but it should have some level of an influence, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So I feel like it's a little bit different. If we're talking boyfriend, girlfriend, then I definitely agree with what y'all said. I mean, I think the exact same way, but if you're talking about somebody that you're going to build a lifelong journey with, I feel like you should be communicating in all
It's
levels.
every single thing.
I feel like
Probably
there's
so.
love.
I mean, and that's why
Like, I agree
finding
with
jumping into a marriage is not literally jumping into marriage. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not something you just wake up and say, "Oh, I'm going to get married to this person."
Sure.
You know, it's something that takes time, I think. You know,
No, it does.
because you literally are like, this is your quote unquote, what do you call it? What's that movie where they were stuck together? Like, this is the person you're really, like, literally with for the rest of your life. Like, this is your
It's
age
your life
group.
partner.
This is your, like, y'all walking this life path together. So it's like you literally have to.
You see, at that point, I feel like you could definitely, I feel like it's okay for you to say certain things, but at the same time, I feel like as a boyfriend and girlfriend,
No.
you don't have to tell everything, but as a wife, like he was saying earlier, I feel like it's a union. So that's your spouse, somebody, like you said, you're gonna be with for the rest of your life. So I feel like it kind of, you should communicate things like that, because it's like you said, it's your best friend.
Yeah.
Like, you would tell your best friend things like that, wouldn't you? So I feel like, why not tell your best friend, which is your wife or your husband?
Yeah.
Maybe certain things, like if your other best friend says, don't tell nobody, then by that, I feel like you should respect their wishes and not tell nobody. But if it's something that's like really contemplating with you, you're like, I don't know, whatever, then yeah, explain, speak to your husband about it if you trust him well enough.
I feel like if I'm in a marriage and my boy is like, yo, I got something to tell you, but I don't want you to tell nobody. I'm like, look, the one person I'm going to tell is my wife. And not that I'm going to go say, hey, wifey, so-and-so said this, but if it comes up, I'm going to tell her, right? So I'm going to put that discretion out there to him, like let him know, look, I'm here for you, you're my boy, and whatnot. But if it came to, I'm going to share it with, if I need to, I'm going to share it with her. I'm not going to.
I think you have to decide how much you share. Like, I think, like, when it comes to sharing with your partner, sharing just enough is okay.
Is enough. Sharing just enough.
Just
is
not,
enough.
you don't have to give it a whole bloody picture. And he's talking about how he went through the congregation. You don't have to, she doesn't need to know that whole detail. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think share, if you have that kind of relationship, I think share just enough, but not the whole thing. Because I think that determines, because like, it's going to affect your friendship with somebody.
Okay.
You know, in all honesty.
So Deola says, unless it concerns / affects your partner / best friend, it's really not their business.
True.
Author says, half bread is better than puff puff.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Please explain what
Okay,
that means.
I don't get it, but I'm sure there's something to that. Any other points on that? I'm sorry.
No, I think Deola's right. Because like I said, I'm a private person, so like most of the time when I've had issues in the past with like people I've dated where they come across, they tell me that I'm not the most open person, and that's because I go based off the levels, right? Like if we're dating, I'm not gonna be telling you everything that's going on. If we're in a relationship, that's a step. It's gonna be better, but it's not. It's gonna be like situational for the most part, right? So if fiance, married, then that's something that you've earned that kind of enables me to be more, to a certain level of almost as 100% open with you as needed, right? But like if this is nothing that you can help me out with, or something that is not directly related to you, I totally agree with that point. And you pick and choose. You just have to pick and choose. That's literally what it is. You know.
I think your sister said something.
My sister said something?
Yeah, if she said if the roles were reversed, like if she asked,
No, go ahead.
so what happened? Oh, where is it? Okay, I can't find it, but basically she was asking if you were able, like, if you were telling something about your partner to your best friends, like, is that okay? Like, if I'm talking about my husband to my best friend.
So what else are you gonna tell them? You can't tell
Whatever, I mean,
you
that's
can't-
basically saying is it
but-
okay if you're telling what's going on with your relationship?
Yeah, but let's be logical, right? There are some things you cannot tell your partner. If you want to complain about certain thing your partner's doing, and you're trying to figure out a way to talk to your partner about it, who are you gonna talk to?
Tell a friend.
You're gonna tell a friend. You're gonna
Yeah.
tell your best friend. You're gonna tell someone that you can confide in and know that the conversation you have with them stays between y'all.
Right.
So usually that's the best friend, right? So it's
Right.
expected that that happens. But you know, there will be situations. Let's say the spouse finds out or something like that, it might lead to an issue. But like, let's be realistic. If we're using common sense or what you call it, whatever, it is gonna happen. Like it's there's no way you can go about that without it being a thing.
Yeah.
So pretty much saying there's some things that logically it makes sense to say, but
Yeah.
logically there are things that you should hold back in saying because it's not conducive. It's not gonna.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like we pick and choose. Every individual is different. Every
Right.
relationship is different.
Yeah.
So you in that relationship have to figure out what works for you and what does not. So
Right.
and that takes time, to be honest with you. So like
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
think you start by I typically go with this thing where I share a little, I gauge your response, and that determines how much I can share moving forward. Especially like for example when it comes to like things like family, I'm not big on sharing stuff about my family because like that's my family. That I hold that dear to me. So like
Right.
so conversations like that, I pick and choose. Like I'll drop some little things every now and then based on your response and how you keep that information, and if I don't hear about that information, because I tell people two different things. Like for example, not one person that I'm with knows everything about me. Like some people know certain aspects of me, some people do not. So and that's the way I do it because like everybody plays a part in terms of whatever feedback they can give me. Some people, there's some friends that are straight up, we turn up, have a great time, but they don't really know like personal shit about me. And
Yeah.
that's the way life goes, honestly.
Yeah, I'm totally the same way. Like when it comes to family, there are things that I keep it within family. I don't really go out there and start talking about. So
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. Jen S says, I think it goes both ways. There should be a level to the kind of things you share. There are some things you can discuss, and there are some topics that you just shouldn't. I can tell y'all are related. That's a sister. You got anything, Rico?
No, I agree. And piggybacking off what he said, it's like you have people in your life for certain reasons. You know what I'm saying? So my turn-up friend may not be my person that I confide in. You know, this might just be my turn-up friend. This might be the person I confide in. This might be the person I talk about business with. You know, so you have to pick and choose like who is right for who, and you know, deal with each person on whatever level they're in your life for.
Facts.
Yeah, straight facts. One last comment. A lie, just not telling them are two different things. Yes, they can feel some type of way, but I believe that there are some things that couples just can't talk about. Everyone is different. That was by Tamara Bell. Jake Ryan says, keeping secrets only opens you to having more skeletons in your closet.
A secret and a lie is two
different
separate
things. Yeah.
things. Lies are like totally off limits. Like ain't no lying. Ain't no lying.
Yeah. Good topic. Good topic. We're gonna hop on to the next one. So the question is addressed to guys, but we can make it a vice versa thing. It says, what do women talk about so soon that makes a man fall back, and vice versa? And let's define soon. Are we talking a day, 2 days, a week?
I was
a week and a half, 2 weeks, a month.
funny thing. I was watching Insecure yesterday, and there was an episode where Issa was like telling this one guy, which was I think it was Jadena, and they just met. And she was like, I think they slept together, whatever. And she was like, so if you want, you can, like leave some clothes here, like a bag, or whatever. And that was like within a week.
Right.
Of
You
them
don't
just,
run his
like,
ass off so fast.
just meeting.
That's a topic. That's a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's-
women
that's
are not there's all women, not to like shame or whatever, but some
Yeah.
women are too quick to jump into. So
Yeah.
what are we?
Right? Oh my God.
And it's like
That's
we
the
just
worst.
met.
So it's the what are we question. That's,
Yeah, if I was a guy, I would think that would scare somebody off, like the relationship question so soon, the what are we's, all that.
Hey, like I learned from Superstory, we're nothing but pencils in the hand of the creator. So that
wait.
Wait, what? What did it say?
So Superstory has this thing where they say that we're nothing but pencils in the hand of the creator. So meaning that when someone asks where are we, that is my response most of the time. No. but I think like that question is a major thing because like I think also women are usually scared to ask that question. So most of the time they might go through a series of conversations before they actually bring that up to you. So I think most guys need to understand that when a woman actually asks that question, it takes a lot of confidence to do that, a lot of thinking. She's not just asking for the fuck of it. She's doing it because she's thought about it. So I think guys need to respect that aspect of it. But that question, if I just met you, shit, why you asking me that question like that? I think also like, if I get to know somebody, if I'm trying to build a future with you, I ask certain questions like, what's your credit score looking like? How we?
No.
Okay, that's off limits.
At what point?
Like,
No, low key, like,
if I'm trying to get to know you, if I'm trying to build something with you, I ask you, girl, what's your
credit score looking like?
You know, because one, if it's not looking great, let's start building that shit so that when we get
That's real.
when we get to the point that we're trying to buy a house together or
To
something.
be honest, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree,
I'm
but
gonna
that
be
would
real.
come
I
like
agree.
later. To me, that would come later.
It's
Like,
like if we're trying to build
okay,
But
okay.
you see, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like that comes with you already know what you want.
Yeah.
So if you're going into this, yeah, you could just meet somebody, but you have your own you have your own intentions in the sense of, okay, I'm out here, I'm trying to find somebody to date. If things happen, then it happens. So I feel like if you're trying to looking to build something, I feel like that's a valid question. Maybe not right away when you just meet them,
Right.
like the first day, but.
No, but I think also like it also depends on how much. If you create an avenue where a woman feels trusting, where they can actually be comfortable enough to talk to you, sometimes those timelines are a little bit pushed because I've had people share some like deep shit, and I'm like, oh, that's nice, but you know, like I said that in my mind, but then I answered the question, but in my mind I'm like, damn, like, we reached that level, like, you know, like a good question that I usually never ask a woman. I never ask like how many people you slept with, because to me that's your own personal
I
problem.
feel like it's childish.
Wait, you said what?
Women have asked that shit so many.
If women ask or if men ask, that's childish. Why are you asking
no,
how
but
you
I
slept
mean,
with like?
Nobody
So
asked that anymore.
Jake Ryan says talking about exes from one day to
Facts.
To me, I don't like that.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I want to know. I don't want to know who the fuck you've been with.
Okay, like.
It's not important to me unless it's like it ties into something that
Like the
is-
first topic, like, oh,
In a
what
way,
happened with you in your last relationship?
Yeah, I feel the same way because like if I meet somebody, I'm getting to know them, and conversations about their exes keep coming up. I'm like, I really don't want to be having conversations about your ex. I don't want to be talking about your all interactions. Like
I
just
feel like-
knowing that I'm getting to know somebody and this person is talking about the interactions with their ex.
You still
Like,
you
it's like
still
it's
liking
just-
them or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's like you're comparing both parties. Like
Yeah.
you're comparing to ex,
Yeah.
like God damn, ain't no
Like
comparison.
I just met you there. Like, yeah.
So like it just feels like you're comparing, and it's like
Yeah.
I barely ever talk about my exes, and it usually leads to women asking because I always go to perception that they're my past. Even if there's some exes that are still my friends, but they're my past. We're talking about present and future.
Yeah.
That's what we should be more concerned about. Not,
And what I think about is the space. Like if we're trying to create space to get to know each other, that doesn't need to come into the space. Like in essence, not saying that it's a topic that's never going to come up. I'm just saying like
They will, but
we're
not.
trying to create something here,
Yeah.
a space that we can feel vulnerable for each other at some point, and that's gonna hinder that in a way. So
I agree.
Well, see, I'm the opposite as far as like asking a person, well, asking a man, because I just really am a firm believer, and I might be wrong, but I'm just really a firm believer on like men are territorial, they go after what they want. So if he ain't pursuing a relationship with you, you might not be what he wants. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I was taught. You know, men go.
What do you mean? So you won't ask questions or like?
No, I'm saying as far as like the whole what are we conversation, or the are we in a relationship? Like, I feel like.
So you don't believe you shouldn't ask. Women should not ask right away, right?
No, I don't think that. Well, me personally, I won't ask that
Right.
question.
I agree.
Like, are we girlfriend and boyfriend type? Like those type of questions.
I
Like,
feel like that's also childish.
Yeah, very childish.
I think it's more important to ask where we're going than what are we.
or what are you?
Or
looking
what are
for?
you looking for?
Yeah, exactly.
Not where we go. No,
No.
don't put a we, because I feel like that we.
Okay, are we going somewhere with this? Or are we?
What
just-
are you looking for?
just-
I feel like also words play a big role. Because if you
Yeah.
say we versus you is a huge difference. Because the minute you say we, it's like the us thing. You know, so that's a relationship type of, or at least for some guys, you're like, whoa, what do you mean we?
Yeah.
Like,
So
you know what I'm saying? Like,
what are the acceptable questions to ask in today's age?
When you're first dating somebody,
Yeah.
what are you looking for? I mean, and that can
What are you doing
become
with
a little bit, yeah.
what are your plans in the next 5 years?
Yeah.
What?
What are your goals? What
like-
are accomplishments?
You said something about credit score earlier?
Hey, credit
What is your
score.
credit score?
What's your credit score?
It's necessary, man. Like, should I build people's credit scores? Just
Oh,
Bro, though, what is your credit score?
It's important. Like, honestly, I ain't gonna lie. Like, even though I'm not, even if we don't end up together, shit, I'm helping the other nigga that's coming out.
Now,
So,
You can ask all those.
so like,
But you can ask all those
Brothers
questions
out.
and get all the answers, and then all that could be a lie.
It could. I mean, but
That has definitely happened to me before.
I'm dead.
was somebody lied about the first one?
Got
No, I'm saying
bamboozled.
about every question, like from the beginning, like, oh, how many kids you got? Like, what are you?
okay,
what do
so
you
somebody
do?
just said
that.
What do you do for a living?
And he got like 4 kids.
Yeah.
I got no kids.
So it's important to know how many kids
The question I don't like.
Yes.
off that.
Hell
Yes.
At the very
I
beginning.
feel like that's something that should be important to them. You
I
know?
don't have to see your kids, but
Yeah.
you know you have kids.
Yeah, and don't lie about how many you have.
Because
or if
that's
you
a
have
huge
them.
factor for somebody to want to
But
date
you're
or
trying to
not.
get to know the person in the sense of
That
just
tells you
them.
That's
a lot
but
about
your
them.
child is a lot of
That tells you a lot about them.
You know what I'm saying?
If
Like,
you,
I
if
feel
you
like-
can't take care of your kids or protect the person, like your own seed, your own child that is yours, like how you gonna take care of a woman or be there for a woman or have that? You know, you can't take care of a woman mentally, whatever, if you don't take care of your own kids.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying?
Well, just
So that will
I
tell
agree.
you a lot about a person,
Digging back into that, like
how they
initial-
were raised.
that initial question, one question I don't like is how much money do you make?
That's the
That's
same
a
thing as credit score.
You might as well ask, what do you do for a
No,
living?
no, credit score
Like,
has no discrimination on how much money you make. That's fine.
So you're just using psychology at this point.
No, you can not have a lot of money and still have a great credit score.
Like, oh, let me ask, she got an 800 credit score, she got a little money.
No.
No, you don't have to be rich
You don't
to
have
have a
to be
great
rich
credit
to
score.
That's true. That's
So
That's a fact. There's a lot of rich people that don't have great credit.
that's true.
That is
So,
true.
Like,
Yeah.
it just depends on
It's
your,
true.
because your credit score enables me to know how you manage
Responsible.
money. Exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
that's what I look at it, because like shit, if I end up being with somebody and it's like, okay, are you, because it's our bank account, we have bank accounts together, so I want to be able to know that shit, when my money come in, that shit's not going up like that. You get it?
Yeah.
somebody said, do you have corona?
Hey, 2020,
That's a
man.
real question. That's a real question.
I mean,
Do you have corona? Are you coughing? Have you coughed
Nah,
lately?
yeah. You
So
got
3
one
coughs.
cough. You got one.
You have 3.
Girl, no, you got one cough, one
I'm
sneeze.
dead.
You got one clear throat, you done.
If you did this,
Bye.
I'm dead.
Hey, it's allergy season, man. We can't.
Allergy.
It's not-
That's why I said 3 coughs. If
But
you
it's
had
not-
allergies, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
You might
so
have allergies.
Tia Bell, she says people have to learn to take their time, spend time with each other first, be friends, ask the relationship questions once you are at that level. It's scary and desperate if you move too fast.
It is desperate if you move too fast, low key, but at the same time.
Yeah.
But you moving too fast.
Because that's what I said, like, what's too soon? Like, defining too soon, I think, is like,
See, I feel like love doesn't have a time on it.
I agree.
Yeah, it does.
Because I've seen people fall in love and they're a genuine love, and that's within less than a year.
Yeah.
So I feel like it just depends on you and the person you're with.
Yeah.
True.
And that's why I said you have to know what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, that's where the wasting time comes in. Clearly, the people who married right away, they knew what they wanted.
Right.
And they're open and honest and,
The honesty,
you know.
yes, the honesty. You have to be honest.
So
I mean, I wouldn't say everyone, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
What do you mean?
Wait, everyone,
What do you mean?
No, you
Everyone?
said people that get married right away know what
Not everyone. Okay, true. Not everyone, but like the ones who do well, not even perfect,
Like,
not really
it's
just
successful.
perfect, but the ones who are, you know, on the good end, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
they knew what
Do what
they
they
wanted.
wanted. They were open. They
Direct.
communicated direct in what they
Communication.
wanted to. But it's about the honesty. Like, you have to be honest. Like, you can tell a person whatever you want, you know, and it can be a total lie. But if it's not what you really want and it's just somebody who you are portraying to be, then no, it's not gonna.
You want someone
it's not
that's
gonna
Let's
work.
not also forget that, sometimes the quick marriages are due to certain external factors.
She said literally, if it's for the right reason,
Yeah.
and
Because I know people that, for example, you're with a partner that says no sex. A good chunk of those people get married pretty much earlier than most.
man, you can go get sex from anybody.
No,
You ain't
no,
gotta
no, like,
wait
I mean-
No, the ones who
No.
were trying to be abstinent.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, like,
She was like, what?
yeah.
Like,
I don't imagine you being 30 and being a virgin. For those out there that are like that, enjoy yourself.
Yes,
But
stay that
I'm
way.
saying like if you decide to abstain from sex when you meet somebody, most of the time they end up getting married quicker because it's like you get to know them, yada yada yada. It's okay, I've had this enough, cool. Let's get to that next stage. So that tends to happen most of the time. But I'm saying like then there are other things like the United States government, okay, your whatever OPT is expiring. In 5 months. So you have 4 months and 29 days to figure it out.
So, Larita says, acceptable questions. Who are you? What do you want? Why are you here?
she said, who are you? Who are you?
What's your
What do you want from
intention?
me?
What's your intention with me? Where do you work?
What?
Are you a demon? Do you plan on wasting my time? Are you mad?
Okay, like, the wasting your time part, I'm not gonna lie, most of the time that's not intentional when you meet somebody. You don't plan on wasting your time.
Yeah.
So,
No. Some people do plan on wasting
No, but
their,
like-
on
no, but
their
like-
time, not your own.
no, because like think about it, everybody has different timelines that they work with individually, right? So like you might be talking to someone whatever for 9 months or whatever, and the other person feels like you wasted their time because you took 9 months away from them, or 1 year away from them where they could have been talking to other potential aspects and focusing solely on you. So some people might look at that as a waste of time, but shit, most of the time you're not trying to waste someone's time. I remember when I was in situations like when I was in college or a little bit after college, like I know I was ready to settle down, so there's certain women I would not approach because I know that shit. If I approach you, shit, I might marry you. So I ain't trying to do any of that shit. So like it just depends on the situation, honestly.
I
Okay.
agree.
Couple more comments real quick. Somebody said, do you have any history of bipolarism in your family? Do you cook?
Ooh, that's a, ooh,
Bipolar-
ding, ding, ding.
Bipolar
I think you have to see
narcissism.
certain things before you ask that question. Like am I talking to you from yesterday or are you from 30 minutes ago?
LOL.
Like, I think that part determines a lot.
Do
Like,
you want
Stuff like
children?
that you won't
Oh,
find
yeah, the
out till
children
later.
question
Like
is-
the mental disorders and stuff like that, that'll come out later.
Yeah.
It'll be too late.
yeah.
Yeah, so it is
You'll
important
be
to know.
I feel like it's
How do you
important
ask that though?
by asking
Like,
like,
figure it out.
so,
Some people don't know. Some people don't know
So
that they
don't take this
have
the wrong
a
way.
mental disorder. Some people don't know it's in their family.
What's your
Some
family
people-
history looking
Especially
like?
black people. Shit.
No, but
Yeah.
family.
I would ask, do you have any
yeah.
illness? Like, do you have diabetes? I'll start off with like diabetes or something like that. You know, slow, like something soft. When diabetes is not soft, but I meant in the sense of like, before I get into schizophrenia or bipolar, that's extreme.
Well, you know what? Like mental illness is a huge topic nowadays. So you could just, I feel like if you really, really want to know, you can just
How's
have a
your mental
casual
health?
No,
conversation about
I think you have to pick and choose the right time. Let's say you're watching a movie, maybe Shudder or something, Leonardo DiCaprio,
Okay.
and the movie
That's a
focuses.
good one.
So like stuff like that. Maybe you're watching that movie, then you like, oh shit, y'all got any, like.
Hello.
You gotta
You
slide
didn't say it like that though. You got any?
No, you gotta
Is this
slide.
relatable?
The moment has to be right. I think that's not something you just ask off the bat. You have to find it has to be a situational situation that enables you to ask a question like that. Because it's like if someone asks me, do you have mental disorder, bipolar? It's like, what the fuck does that shit come from?
A lot of people don't know.
Put on the movie
that-
Split,
Yeah.
and then be like,
Yeah, people don't know
this
that
is
they're
relate to
sick.
you.
Yeah.
So somebody says, are you a man or you're a woman or both?
I think that's important.
Yeah,
I don't know how to
that's
ask that.
First of all, I don't think,
Big pictures.
I don't know if you should ask directly like that.
No, but yeah, not like.
But I feel like, one, before you ask, you should look
Okay.
very well.
So real quick,
Before you ask them
before we
like
jump into another topic, there was a story about this man who married his wife, beautiful wife, started having kids, and they started having ugly kids. And he was real fucked up, excuse my French, real messed up about it. And like he like 5 kids, and they were all ugly. Come to find out, his wife
Plastic surgery.
had a whole bunch of plastic surgery to make her look beautiful.
She bugging. She
I
bugging.
agree.
And she did not disclose that to him.
I will
and he
sue
ended up
you.
suing
I will
her.
sue you.
Absolutely.
Because you literally my seed. Do you know? Nah, I will sue you.
My seat?
Like,
Do you know what you just did?
nah, do you know other people that could have had this great juice? You know?
LOL.
Nah,
Okay, go to the next topic.
nah.
Okay, so this is another good one. We've been talking for less than a week, and she sends me this. Please, I need a little favor. I'm stranded. My bank card isn't working. Can you please help me with some money? I don't mind refunding. I really need to sort out something urgently. What should I do? Is what the guy's asking.
How much?
How
Depends on how much it
funny.
is. If you're talking about like less than $100, yeah, maybe. But if you're talking about like, nah.
It's like ask me to pay you your whole rent.
Yeah, that's just not happening.
How long have I known you for?
But they said stranded, so does that?
Yeah, they said you're stranded, so I mean,
Y'all
I think it
the
depends on the
flight?
price.
Y'all
So it's like an Uber. Like, how far are you?
Might be an Uber, yeah. You might need
Where
$30.
are you? Why are you?
Why are you there? My questions.
But me, you just met me in a week and you ain't got nobody else to call for this money?
Exactly.
Like, what?
But you know,
Sketchy.
I think at today's age, I would be like, I mean, this is probably not right, I don't know, but I'll probably like, not, because people get got like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know?
that's true.
And I blame that on today's society and how, you know, the kind of stories that you hear about, people getting got all the time, and, you know, people fall for stuff all the
Yeah,
time, right?
I agree.
So, but if this is somebody that I've known maybe in the past and we just get to know each other for like a week, like really get to know each other, that's a little bit different. But if it's like
a week.
No,
I would say a week.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
a week. Oh, a week.
Pause.
First of all-
Think about it. Think about it. Corona right now. If you stay
He
with
said
someone,
corona.
if you stay with someone for a week right now, shit, you done jumped a ton of steps.
Oh, that week is like a month
That week
already.
is literally like a month.
Literally.
Or
Yeah.
2
In
months.
Corona time, it's a month.
So you gotta think about that as a week. Shit means like 2 months if you're actually in the same space every
But
month.
still,
So
I'm gonna ask, where are you? Why does this happen? Like, what do
no,
you?
of course you gotta have
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to ask questions. But like at the end of the day, do you feel comfortable enough to do that? But I think
If it's under 20, I'm not gonna lie.
For a week. I mean, like, so you will be laid up with somebody every day for like the first week.
shit, Corona times. You
so
can't-
$20,
I'll send $20. I'm not gonna lie.
$20.
$20, I'll send $20.
$100.
Hell no.
That's a little different. That's a couple of bills right
Well,
there.
so they said they're gonna refund the money though. I don't mind refunding.
I'm sure.
Nah,
No. I asked you when will I get this money? That's one.
You're stranded?
Because if you're telling me I'm gonna get this money 2 months from now, nah, you can't.
You don't even know that person like good enough to know if they're telling the truth, like about giving you the money back.
First of all,
like,
they're stranded coming from another nigga or girl's house.
exactly. This nigga don't put.
So, and I'm over here helping you come back to me from somewhere else for $100.
Right.
So I bet no.
That was a deep thought.
Yeah, that's
Oh, it's happened.
I'm not gonna lie. That was deep.
Real life.
That was deep.
Like, wait. It's not happening.
Yeah. I mean,
So basically, no.
yeah.
I think like it has,
Right.
it has,
Right.
it has to be money that you look at it like a gift. Not
What if you really like the person? Oh, you said look at that's
look at it like a gift
yeah.
because like if I'm gonna give it to you, that means like I'm not expecting it back. If it's something that I expect back, or it's a type of amount that I need to get back, then the answer is no. That's facts.
$20 less.
If the fact that I'm giving you money, I really like you. I wouldn't give you the money if I didn't.
I mean, most people wouldn't do things for people they don't like, right? But if you like really.
I've done things with people I don't like.
Yeah.
But $100, you just met them in a week?
Right.
I'll
Just like think
that
about
much.
you giving money to homeless people before. So I'm gonna look at your ass like you homeless right now. I'm
Low key, like, yeah.
But baby, like no.
Oh shit. Oh man. Bakita says, nope, call someone else.
LOL. Keep the wood. Keep the wood in the hand, so chill. Do not disturb.
Right.
I'm dead.
Okay, so Larita says, wait. Y'all can sleep with someone you met the same night, but you cannot borrow someone money after talking about it.
Well, that was this dude over here.
Yeah,
The Corona instance.
that's for you, sir.
Well, that's a situational type of situation. But yeah, of course. Like, that's not like borrowing money is like it's finances. Like, she has this $20 and give me gonna affect me tomorrow. Like when I need Chick-fil-A, like Chick-fil-A open tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there are a lot of questions that come into the picture when it comes to money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So somebody else says you need to do a front flip, back flip, moonwalk, or vanish ASAP. No need to
Or vanish ASAP.
No need to hang with people. Wait, no need to hang with broke people even if it's $10. Run, Forrest, run.
No. Because
They may not be broke.
everybody goes
Yeah, because it
through
says the card doesn't work, so they have money. It's just they're having issues with their card, right?
that. Then probably need to
Yeah.
switch banks. Let's talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Another conversation. You know what I mean?
Okay. Lynn says depends on how much money they're asking for, but I don't see a reason not to give it. It could be a scam, but would you rather leave someone stranded?
I'll sleep well.
You
Excellent.
would sleep well?
I would leave your ass stranded.
I would like.
Who was you doing with a week before?
You know.
Where is your mama? Where is the
Where's your,
nigga
you know what I'm saying? Like, you got siblings?
Where is the female you was dealing with?
No, it's kind of like, think about it, like, let's say you see a hitchhiker on the road, right? And
And guess how much they gonna get? $20 or less. That is a homeless person at this moment.
Okay.
They get $20.
No,
So this
or
person is
less.
good with $20, but other
Oh,
than
more
that-
than 20?
More
No.
than 20, no.
Yeah.
if you talk 50 and up, then that's an issue. Like,
Because in my eyes, even if I don't know you well, like, okay, a homeless, I don't know why I keep this person.
I mean, because low
But like, okay, me, if I give something, like a homeless person $20, I'm like, okay, I might get a blessing from this. It might come back to me, you know, in a different way. So I'm not gonna, you know, I'm just gonna give that person that money. If they lie, they lie. But I did my part, you know, maybe I'll get my blessing back in return some kind of way. That's how I look at it. $50, no. $100, no.
I like that. You can look at it just
$30.
like that. Like when you give, you receive, right? So
That's
what
true.
if this is an opportunity for you to receive it?
That's why I said I'll give you the $20,
Yeah.
but more than 20, like,
What you doing?
I mean, God understands.
What about the greater you give, the greater the gift?
Yeah,
Or the
but
greater they can get their ass on. I'm not giving you more
The
than
greater they can
after a week. After a week.
C. Taylor says, I'll probably help and not talk to them anymore.
Well, ain't no
I'm
point in
sorry,
helping.
why?
Like, you don't even
How you gonna
know.
get your money back? Like, I'm trying to understand.
Right. Common sense. How you gonna get your money back?
Margaret says,
Margaret.
I mean, if you have money, I don't understand why it would be an issue. It would be different if you didn't have it, but it does depend on the person, honestly.
So Margaret, would you give $100? No.
Right. Say they
This is my
stranded
cousin
with a
Margaret
flight
saying
issue.
this.
It
She
might be a
would not.
$300 flight. Like, no. No.
Tia says, but what if they aren't broke? What if they just got robbed or something?
Oh yeah, then that's fine.
This-
If you just show me the bruises, like, you know what I'm saying?
LOL.
When you-
They could have been they could have been some, that could have been a whole scam. Like,
Right.
no, I'm
Like,
not. Like,
shit.
after
No,
a week, no.
Adela says, Jesus has better sense than to test people like that.
Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna
She
work.
right, she right. But no, facts. So that's a strong one.
All right, so I guess the consensus is it depends on
price.
the
Yeah.
price and
How
yeah.
much you know them and shit.
Yeah. So good one. All right, so next topic. Why do some people stay in relationships for so long even when they know it's not the right relationship, it's not the right fit for them? What keeps them from getting out quicker?
I can think of like 3 or 4 things off the bat. Like for one, you might have kids with that person. For 2, you probably are dwelling in the past of how it was when y'all first met or whatever. For 3, you might, well, I know as a woman, I've seen this a lot of times, like you've invested time into this person, you've put energy, blood, sweat, tears, you've been through so much, and you don't want to watch all your hard work that you built and made and molded this person into, and then this other person, you can just give, and it feels like you're almost giving this person to someone else, and they ain't got to go nowhere. They're just getting the mold that you shaped. Like say this is point A and this is point C, and you help this person get to point B. So they ain't got to do all that, you know, that growth. They just got to get that little bit of part you know, and then just
So feeling like you
feel like
got
you're gonna help
prepared
that
for the
person,
next
yeah, grow.
No, but everybody, technically, when you think about it, like
In any relationship,
every
people
ex
say-
that you dated has made you either
It molded you in some
a
way.
better person or a worse person off.
That's true.
Okay, so
When-
what
Not even just
people
ex,
that you
any
made
person.
Any
yeah,
person.
better.
Because
Yeah.
any relationship you get into, whether it's really like literally a relationship, it's give and take.
like when I think about it, like there's nobody that I've dated that probably was not better off afterwards. Maybe your confidence has been up because I believe in like.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do
You're a
that.
normal person.
No, but some people can tear women down. Like,
Exactly. You're a normal human being,
Yeah,
so
so
you have
like,
normal sense.
you would expect that, but that's not what happens. Like, you know,
Yeah.
if you're being with somebody, you want them to be moving up as you're moving up, because you never want somebody to be like staying in the same place as you. I think like one of the issues, one of the reasons, major reasons is some people just don't want to be alone. You know, they want to have someone to talk to when they want to. They want to have someone that they can, you know, be close with, open up their heart to, all
Yeah.
that extra. I think
Right.
also where you can tally in the fear of starting over.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, they've
mine-
got content. Like,
Mine is comfortability. I've been through that,
Right,
through that experience.
contentment.
So mine was comfortability
Yeah.
and the fact that I guess, I lost track of myself. I lost myself kind of. So within that case, I was just kind of like clinging on to that person.
or you cling on to that hope that things will.
That hope and stuff like that, which is just, I'm trying to cling on to some, yeah.
But think about all the struggle posts that people post. Oh, she's been down with me from day one through all the 5 bitches I've had. All
See,
the 2
to me,
baby
that's
mamas,
toxic.
and shit
Yeah.
like that. Or like, but think about it. Like it's like, okay, for example, like I know people that have dated or date people for 2 years. Like me, I have a cutoff. Like if I haven't been to my girlfriend in 9 months or a year, there's no point moving forward.
Who says he had no way?
I have a cutoff.
wow.
I have a cutoff. If I haven't been to my girlfriend in 9 months, maybe 9 months maximum a year, then there's no point. I'm wasting your time because I don't want to waste your
I
time.
love that.
I don't want to waste my time.
I genuinely,
That is
so if a lot of
a-
men could be like this, I love
What
this.
if they think they're already your girl? Then what's your girl?
That's crazy.
No, I've actually had one situation like that where this girl not we were boyfriend and girlfriend. And then in my mind, I was like, yo, hold up, like, John,
When did I decide
did you say those words? Like,
Yeah. Come on, mama.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, just say that.
because I don't believe it. Like, the day if I ask someone to be my boyfriend, girlfriend, it's usually like I do shit. So in my mind, I'm like, hey, when the fuck did you do shit to actually, you know, give this title to somebody? Because I believe that title is actually important because when you get that title to me, it means that I'm trying to build something with you.
Yeah.
From a future perspective. So I've had a lot of people that have gotten that title from me, but I've had people have dated or whatever. But I do believe, because my time is valuable as fuck. So I'm not gonna waste my time with someone that I'm not trying to build something with. So like,
Yeah.
that's why I genuinely believe in that cutoff of 9
Well,
months.
you're a rare situation, so.
See,
Most men don't, they will drag shit out forever, or even if they don't see you as a potential
they'll
girlfriend.
just keep you around
Yeah, they'll just keep you
because
around.
the fun of
or
it,
whatever.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. Like,
So they can
it's
have their
not fair
cake.
to you. It's not fair to you, not fair to that. Because like when you're investing your time,
You have a mature mind.
You're going on
Yeah.
trips and shit like that. That's my money. Like what the fuck you talking about? So, like, I'm not gonna do that shit if I don't see like something out of it. I don't have a problem. Like there's some exes that have taken places and shit like that. But that was at that point in time. This was my mindset and shit like that. But at the end of the day, it's an experience. There's money. Money can't buy you like certain experiences in life. So like. That's,
So shouldn't the reasons to leave outweigh the reasons why people stay? Like why? Because it seems like
They should,
People
but
stay
just like she said, like you're content, like you're comfortable. You don't want
Or
to start
because they're
over.
in love. Or,
Yeah, you don't want to
you're
start
so
over
deeply in
with
love.
someone else. You put the time in, whatever.
Also-
You feel like the person might change. You give that person time to grow. I mean, I feel like it's a lot of different reasons. people
DJ
stay.
said, "Is love enough to keep a relationship?"
No,
no,
hell
fuck no.
No.
It's not.
No.
It's not. Not
No.
close.
Not
Like, it's
at all.
cute though.
Is love enough to keep a relationship?
I think it is. But I think
No, it's
people
not.
have. No, I think some people have the wrong definition of love. Because like if
That's
you're in a
the key.
domestic situation,
That's what it is.
people
I
think
agree.
that's love to be
People think love is
physically
being
or verbally
abused.
abused.
Okay, so how-
but it's not
how do
love.
you
So
define-
I think people have to define
How do you
it.
define love?
Love.
I don't
I think
know.
People have their
It's just
own,
there.
like he said, their own definition
For
of
me,
what love is.
Because like
Like for me, like just breathing is love. I
think
know
God
that
is
whatever
love.
created God created everything.
God
the
is
fact that I
love.
have oxygen is
My whole
like,
my whole love thing is you can love somebody and not be loyal to them.
Facts.
But if you're loyal to them, you also love them.
then you don't love them if you're not loyal to them.
Exactly.
No, you can't.
Well,
Because-
somebody
so
may
now-
think
because-
they do
that's
love
not
you.
true.
That's why I
But
think everybody has a different.
Love is
Yeah.
misconstrued. People
Yeah.
love the definition
can
of love
you-
is misconstrued.
Yeah, so
I
can
feel
you
like
love somebody? So are you telling me that every man who or every girl who has cheated, every man or girl who has cheated, they didn't love that person?
No, they
You
did.
can't
they
say
did, but
They
that's
did.
what I'm saying. Love is misconstrued. Their definition of love, and their
Exactly.
perspective,
Their definition.
is that. Just like
Yeah.
some men think it's okay. Like literally, I had a guy tell me, "I love you. You can't go nowhere." Like on some controlling type thing, and
Yeah.
he in his head he believed that's love.
And also-
but that's not.
And
Yes.
also,
It's
another-
unhealthy.
Yes.
Another important aspect is that you can love somebody, but are you in love with them? Two different things.
So that's what we're talking
you
about.
can still be in love
You
and
can still think that you're in love.
That's one part, but I'm saying like you can actually love someone and cheat on them because of the fact that, and
Yes.
you don't tell them because you love them. That's another aspect of it.
True.
So like you have to think about that aspect. Like people cheat and they.
And so what if you're in love and cheat?
And no, that's kind of hard. That's rare because I feel like
Rare?
it's
I don't
rare.
think it's
But like
rare.
certain situations come up, like some women.
I think if you're in
So if
love,
you cheat, you
and
don't love the
cheat,
person.
If you really love that person, you would tell that person that you cheated.
Fuck no.
I
Now,
agree.
that's-
I agree. I agree.
No.
But then,
Why?
No.
But you're in love with this person.
Fuck.
You made it up because we're still human beings at the end of the
Never
day.
fuck.
Right? No, for real, we're still human beings at the end of the day. So if you're, I think a good way to test it is if I'm in love with somebody and I fall because that's what men do,
People
I
do
guess.
that
Well, black men don't cheat, so never
Exactly.
mind.
You know, we not doing that shit.
But in all seriousness, I think that if I'm actually in love with this person, I will tell them because
Some people.
love is like you're honoring somebody, you respect
So a mistake
somebody.
is once,
What's that
right?
again?
A mistake is once, right?
Facts.
Okay.
Yeah.
No?
when it comes to marriage, I think
Yeah.
it's different.
To cheating? I'm
To
talking
cheat,
about
yes, to
men.
cheating.
Oh,
Yes, to
yeah.
cheating. When it
Things
comes to
like
marriage, I
Yeah.
feel like it's different.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I've been cheated on, and I still stayed with somebody before. Stupidity, yes, but
I don't think it
moving
makes you
forward,
stupid to stay just
I
because
think
they
it's-
cheat, like
you see,
one time or something.
well,
Well,
I
it
think it's
depends-
stupid
it
because
depends.
It depends. It depends, but it doesn't make you stupid. That's what I'm saying.
well, I
It
think
depends on
well,
the
harsh word, yes, but to me, I felt like I let down my own morals.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, like I should have done better. Because I believe that you shouldn't really cheat. If you cheat within the girlfriend or boyfriend, you should just leave that person. You're not
I
married, so
agree.
you're not tied down.
I agree.
But if you're married, that you made a commitment, you made a vow, so you have to work through that. Now, if there's multiple occasions, you know,
Yeah, that
I
makes
agree.
you-
You know, that's different.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that because like one, if you are in a relationship, if you cheat, technically, black men don't cheat, but like if a woman cheats, it's like it's over with, up top. If you are married, then there are other things that you have to think about when it comes to making a decision, do you walk away or not?
Yes.
Think about it, do you have kids? Is this something
have
that
kids
No.
and not be married.
No.
Don't use kids.
What if
No,
you're in a relationship?
I'm giving examples, right? Because after the kids are gone, 18 years later, that's why you
Still
see a lot of
stuck with
people,
that
a lot of people get divorced after the kids are out of the house. Because then you're just stuck with each other and you realize that, man, I don't wasted a shit ton of my time.
Exactly.
But I'm saying like the kids matter to an extent because you have to, if you are going to leave, you have to find a way where the relationship with your kids, with your father and all that stuff, you have to find a way to work through it.
I agree with what you're saying.
And two, the other aspects of it is like, is this something that can be worked through? Do you need to go to therapy? Or is this something
Yes.
that you have to have a plan? You can't just stay in it without having a plan. That's my.
You see, when you bring kids into it, I feel like that's a really like sensitive like topic because I feel like that has a lot of subconscious damage to it. Like when you're with your wife and your husband, and your husband is cheating, your children I feel like see that. You know,
No, they do.
emotionally,
They do.
they may not understand what's
Yeah.
going on because they're young, but they see that energy is there. They can know like, okay, mom and dad, something's going on. They don't love each other. They can learn through that.
So are you guys
They'll
talking
learn
about
that.
marriage right now?
Right now, yeah.
No, right now it's marriage, but like
Right now
I
it's
said,
marriage with
you're
kids
dating,
like to leave.
it's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're dating,
So
it's
what's
like-
the difference between married with children and in a relationship and with children?
So like baby mama type
Oh,
thing.
you can
Yeah.
I can leave that one.
But like if y'all in a relationship, not just
I
married,
feel like
but
if
a
you,
relationship,
regardless of if you're dating
and y'all have kids together,
and you have kids and they cheat,
yeah, then go.
that's going back to what I was saying. I feel like if your boyfriend and girlfriend leave,
Yeah.
if you're married, then I feel like you should try to make things work because you made a bond, you made that commitment.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's bigger than just you. made a commitment to God. So I feel like you should kind of abide by that, you know. But at the same time, I don't think it's right to stay because of the kids. Because I feel like you doing that, your kids will later on grow up and have like an effect to that, like subconsciously, and they will think that that's okay.
And the kids will tell you all the time, like, Mom, like,
You rather be happy by yourself.
I'd rather you be happy.
You know what I'm saying?
Going through, like constant situations with your father. Like that's fact.
I'd rather just you separate than just to be together. And
So
all
cheating is not
fighting.
the only reason though, like problem like disrespect.
Someone said cheating is love. Like if you cheat, you can still love and cheat.
Oh, I've heard a lot of people say that.
So author says
I don't know about that.
some people stay together because they care about what others may think.
Oh, that's fact. Which is not
Jennifer
right.
says, I think it's having to start all over again.
Yeah.
Tia says there are many reasons why they would stay. One could be that they don't know how to be alone. It's very hard for them to start over with someone else, so start over again.
Or they're simply just not ready to let go. Like,
Lynn says feeling like they can make it work and not want to start over.
True.
So I think a lot of people are saying not want to start over. You were saying something else?
well, I was just saying, like, we keep saying cheating, but at the same time, it's like there are a bunch of different reasons, like, people should leave. Like, you know, not just the cheating.
Oh, yeah.
It could be
Emotional
disrespect, abuse,
verbal abuse.
Yes,
Oh,
all
yeah.
that.
Mental.
Goals, like,
If your
you
goals are online,
ain't-
yes,
even
that's
the same
huge.
person since the day I met
What
you.
about they started a business together?
What do you
I mean,
mean?
that's
That'd be a difference. Like if
Is
they
it-
had
you're
an
separated?
actual corporation. Yeah.
No, that's not.
That's legal
That's
now.
why you sit down with your lawyer.
Yeah, that's legal. That's
Like,
that should
that's
not be
legal.
personal.
Jeff
Business.
stays over this like
Yeah. No, he made a huge ass mistake. But
Did he though?
no, I'm saying like when
Not
you
right.
adapt, you have that much money, you gotta be more.
she helped them get
Well, he was
like, she
fine with
there
it
from
because
the
you know
start.
she was there from the
No,
beginning.
but I'm
She,
just saying, like she.
I'm pretty sure he was very fine with it. Jeff was just like, I can
he
make
was
this
cool.
like,
Oh yeah, he just made $39 billion.
you know what I'm saying? I just made that
That's
idea like
2
yesterday, you know?
That's
Yeah.
fine,
It's
that's
okay.
fine, like,
Thanks to
I
Corona.
don't know what that.
Literally, thanks to
Right.
Corona.
right.
I'm dead.
So what other reasons though?
I low-key helped him out too.
Right.
Amazon.
Waiting on my package right now.
Literally, I just got a package yesterday. Thanks, Bezos.
So author says sometimes it's psychological. It took the female long to get chosen. It's difficult to go back into the waiting pool.
But you'd rather make that decision early than later down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I think it's very important to realize that, like, yo, if you're going to leave somebody, make that decision early than later on down the line. Because when it comes later down the line, yo, you done been through like years and years of abuse, years and years of shit. It affects your psyche,
And it's detrimental.
your mind, your
Yeah.
physical thought, like
Yes.
even physical touch. A lot of things get affected by all that shit. So like,
Right.
I think like people have to realize that rather than make the decision to fail early, and with the business tell you, I'd rather you fail early than later on down the line. So
Yeah.
use that same mindset when it comes to a relationship. Because
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Elizabeth says comfortability, dependency,
Yep.
laziness, fear of starting over. Tia says, so marriage, children, y'all was saying that earlier. Marriage, children are both definitely complicate the situation.
Yeah.
But
Not for me.
I think, it was, one of y'all said it where you shouldn't do it, you shouldn't stay just for the children.
That wouldn't.
A lot of
Because it's
people,
not-
a lot of people do it.
Now, it's not healthy though. Like
It's super.
especially for the kids, because
Exactly.
if the environment is not what it's supposed to be, then you're not creating
Yeah.
something that's healthy.
You're
for the kids to
Or you're
grow
just
with.
teaching
You're
your
literally
kids
repeating the
what-
cycle
Yeah, you're teaching
over and
your kids
over and
what to
over
put up
and
with.
over again, and that's what we have.
Yeah.
What we have today, like stuff like that happening. Like literally, people who want to stay in relationships and thinking, "Oh, I'm just helping this." Like, think about yourself at the end of the day. What is it going to do for you?
Yeah.
And at the same time, too, it's beneficial for the person that you're around, like your kids or whoever may be around you. They're gonna get that effects from what's going on with you in your relationship. So I feel like it's best to just leave that. But teach his own.
Yeah. It's true. Let's see what else.
Yeah, I don't judge anyone for choosing to stay or to leave in a situation, because once you are tired, you will leave. You know, like once you are tired of that person saying that they have these goals and those goals are not being met, like you can't put a time frame on when somebody should leave somebody. That ain't none of your business. So, you know, like,
Hope for the
okay,
best.
if you're being psychologically abused and, you know, you don't even know, you might not even know that you're unhappy, you know, like, shit gets deep. So, I mean, I just feel like people, they will leave when they are ready to leave. So,
And also, you also think about who you surround yourself with.
Ooh.
I think that part plays a major
A major
influence
role.
on some decision making that people go through. because like I'll talk about the Nigerian community. You think about, you see aunties and uncles say, oh, don't worry, they make cheating seem like it's a way of life, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like that's not the standard we should be telling our kids to follow through on. That's not how it is. Like, make a decision early.
Mm-hmm. That's why black love is.
So I mean that goes back to like growing up back home, like leaving a marriage is not something that the community, the family.
Think about it, like people care a lot about what other people think. So like people be in relationships, be in marriages that they have no business still being in because they're afraid for what other people might think. Nigerians know all this shit nonsense that they always like, oh, my children don't bring me shame, or all that nonsense. So it's like all these extra things. Like I think as a community, it takes a group to kind of change that mindset because it's not right. If I'm going to be honest with you. So it is what it is.
Adeola, she mentioned something pretty interesting. She said, in the mind of the person, they're probably thinking about the unhappiness that would come, or I guess they would experience from having to start over. So they probably create a scenario in their mind, oh, they're going to be less happy just being alone and having to start over. But I guess not realizing that they're actually unhappy right now. Like,
right.
But I'm not gonna lie, there are certain situations where you might deal with maybe a few years of your nigga being, well, no black man, no G, but like situations where a significant other is cheating, you know what I'm saying? And then at some point the mentality changes and he becomes this great husband or whatever that you thought he was going to be, and he actually lives up to the expectation.
That's great.
That percentage is low as shit.
I mean,
that's great because by the time you get to that point, and by the time the guy or the girl has changed, like you ain't the same person that you were when the relationship first started.
And trust is broken because trust is
trust is 100% broken. Yeah.
Trust is the foundation.
Like it
can't build a house when the foundation is messed up.
Yeah.
So Jake Ryan, he says the truth is, what time is enough time to spend fixing a relationship?
There's no time.
There are those who think, oh, it's been a month, run, and there are those who stay 2 years and it's great.
I think it depends on how much effort you're willing to put into it.
Right.
Because like there are going to be situations where you break someone's trust, and it's like you feel like you're constantly not living up to what the person wants to fix this, and it depends on how much effort you want to put into it. Like shit, if you got so much shit going on that you cannot actually put into the relationship, then you just call it what it is. It is facts. Like it just depends on how much time you're willing to put into it, and it is what it is.
And all people don't have reasons. Like that's one of my pet peeves actually, when some people like knock themselves and they think that they could have done something better, or they say people cheat for a reason. All people don't cheat for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like
sometimes they do.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they 100% do. But I've heard like
there's a reason. There's always a reason for everything.
Well, I literally have had an ex who told me, this was like 10 years ago, like when we were dating, that in a relationship. No, he was just young. Like he literally said like everything was perfect. You were the perfect girl for me. I just was not ready
to settle.
Ready.
That's a reason.
Yeah, that is a reason. Yeah, you're right. But it's not something.
It's
that
not
I was doing wrong.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So like,
you realize that after?
Yeah. Yeah. So he still calls me every day and like tells me the same thing. Like I was young.
You trying to get back?
You want that old thing back? You want that old thing back? DJ asks, how long does it take to date someone before you want to marry them?
No time.
Yeah,
I don't think it's no time. I don't know. I think it's long enough for you to know that person. If you see red flags, get your ass out. Like I don't think there's a set time. Like people have been together for years and got married and it didn't work out. And then people have been together for 9-10 months, got married, and they have been together forever.
So how long is too long to be with somebody and not be married?
I don't know about that now. It depends. Some people say
it depends on the age in which you start dating. Because if you're only dating 16, maybe take your 10 years.
Right, 16, you've been together and you're like 28. Like come on,
yeah. It's so big deal.
But people move faster when they're older. Like I'm in my 30s now, so like
True.
I ain't got time to people have.
That's
because you know what you don't want, so you're easily able to weed out like some unnecessary bullshit. And like no,
a lot of people don't know what they want.
No, it's just that. But like the older you get, you can sense certain bullshit that come out.
I feel like
in all honesty. So like, I think that's the way I look at it. And you have like certain standards that you have that you hold on to. But also, as the older you get, sometimes you let your standards go down.
lower your standards a little bit.
So it just depends on the situation you're currently in. Like, you know, if you are okay with being alone, then, you know, just keep your standards up. You know, if you feel like it's a dependent thing that you have to have somebody, then you bring that shit down. You know,
So
just
you
a
said
little bit, not too much.
if you're okay with being alone, keep your standards high.
Your standards high. Wait for that one person to just blow you the fuck away.
If you're not okay being alone, put your standards low.
Just bring it down a little bit. Just
I don't agree.
No.
Wait,
it's
so
like-
are you,
I think it depends on what the standards are.
I don't think you should ever bring your
When I
standards
say
down.
bring your standards a little bit, figure out what is top. Like in the sense
For like priority,
like for example, some things are more important than other things, right? So like how much money the nigga make may not be the number one thing you care about, right? So like his
No,
religion, how he is in terms of does he make you feel better? Does he make you grow? All this extra might be top. So you have to figure out what
Then
is,
maybe the physical attributes.
yeah, exactly.
You need to lower
Yeah,
down.
exactly.
Okay.
So like I said, you figure out what's top
Okay.
and what's bottom.
Oh,
Then
yeah,
let that
I
shit at
agree
the
with
bottom go. And
Okay.
focus on what's at the top.
Like,
That's what I
okay.
mean by that.
I agree.
is that a good process to actually knowing who you are?
Who
Yeah,
you want
and also like,
or the person you
because
with.
when you think about it, nobody's perfect. Like
That's true.
shit, nobody's perfect. You probably have some double D's in your eyes when you think about your future wife. When life comes out and gives you an income. You know what I'm saying? so like it is.
Wait, I'm sorry. What you meant by WDs? Because that's a subtopic we have. It was somebody made a comment about men in relationships because of big ass and.
Hey, like it's
So they need to lower that shit. They may have the perfect mentality. Of
I mean,
a woman.
women get in a relationship, they can
And she
show
may
man
not-
have a, you know,
Yeah,
a big dick, but
big dick, tall, fat, short,
and
like
then next you know they come
all
like
those are physical attributes that a
less
lot
than what we
of girls.
expected. No, we sometimes still
No,
like, okay.
but think about it, most guys,
So-
when they meet somebody, they look at the physical first, right? So like, when you met her physically, you said, okay, she's enough for me to progress and see more, see what she's about, mentally, emotionally, all that extra shit, right? So I think when it comes down to it, you've already kind of come to your mind, okay, I'll be okay with this, you know, be okay with your,
You okay with this?
with whatever you got going on, and focus
I
on
think I can settle for you.
It's okay.
She ain't got the fattest ass.
like,
She got enough to cough.
it's like I've lived a long life. I've grabbed some, you know, whatever. So you like, if you want to think about that stuff, you think about back in the shit, you know what I mean? But that's literally how it is. Like, you should be okay. When you approach her, you decided that you were okay with how she is. Now, my issue is like, you know, when that person she was becomes a different person years down the line, that's when the conversation comes on deck.
Yeah.
You know, I think that part's important. Like I believe in philosophy that shit. I don't want to let myself go where my wife is like, my future wife is like, oh,
I agree 1,000%.
you know, I remember how you used to be, how your chase was like,
I agree.
you know, how you whatever, how you know I didn't
Wait,
have
so is this physically or mentally?
No, this is-
all.
this is-
I
this is-
agree.
this is all.
I feel like it's all.
agree.
I feel like whatever
Physical
you,
aspects
yeah,
also
whatever you-
matter because like I don't want to be like, damn, like I see another girl and she reminds me of who you used
Who
to
you
be.
used to be.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Whatever I feel like whatever you attracted that person, like whatever attracted that person to you, you should keep that same thing as well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Make an effort for it.
make
Like,
Right.
exactly.
I think like most guys just are okay with it as far as you're trying. I think that matters to people. Like, you know, if you're just sitting at home just letting yourself go,
I know a lot of
I agree.
situations
I
where it doesn't
agree.
play out
And I'm a
like
woman
that.
and I agree with that. Like if you let yourself go and like you done got fat and sloppy and he met you when you was like fine.
But some women say,
you
oh,
had
I
kids,
had-
then that's fine. That's
Some
cool.
women say I
If
gave
you
you 3
did,
kids.
that's
I'm just
fine.
throwing
That's
it out.
fine.
I
I'll
can't-
go.
I'll give
I'll
you that
just
trainer. I'll give you that trainer that you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll provide it. I'll work out with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's facts.
She's like,
No,
she
honestly-
doesn't want to work out anymore.
No, then.
So you just want to let yourself go.
Huh?
I think that's crazy.
No, there's some people that actually do let
No.
themselves go.
If you met me
From-
one way, I have no problem with you coming to me because I'm a big I'm like so honest and straightforward and blunt and direct, and that's why it kind of intimidates people sometimes. But I have no problem with my man coming to me and be like, hey, you done gained a couple pounds.
That's perfectly fine.
And I'm like, all right, I'll go take care of that. Because then when his ass go cheat with somebody that you like, you know,
You gonna be mad.
You gonna be mad.
Yeah, looking crazy.
So
It's like you could have.
as long I'll put in the effort.
And that's also why people go and cheat because of that.
Yes, yes. I agree.
I also like. I think another aspect is that
Not saying that's just okay.
you know.
Right.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Not okay,
I'm
no.
gonna throw that out
No, but he brought it to your attention,
No.
you know, so
Yeah,
yeah, you
like-
can do something about it.
It is.
And that's sweet,
It's
you know?
important.
That's a whole nother topic. Y'all need to write.
That really is.
That's a topic, okay? That is a topic.
Cause
Okay, so going back to the original topic that we're talking about is what keeps people from getting out of it quicker. Do y'all have anything else to say about that? Before?
I think we touched on it like a lot. Like everybody's different. Everybody has different situations. I think family is also another aspect of it. You know, how your family, because shit, I don't introduce. It's hard for me to introduce somebody that I'm dating to my mother. But I feel like when I make that introduction, it means that you've gotten to a certain stage in our relationship where like shit, wifey is kind of around the corner most of the time. So it's like it just depends on dynamics. Because like I don't want situations where like, oh, I introduce you to my mom as oh, it's my girlfriend, and like 1 month later you go out the door. You know what I'm saying? My mom is like, especially my mom like she's like, oh shit, what happened to like to this day I still get conversation with why I'm not in medical school. You know what I'm saying? so talk about like what you call it, actually when you bring a woman to her and she's already imagining grandchildren and all those extra things,
right?
Then you now take that all that hope away from her. I think it's.
I had an ex that forced me to introduce him to my dad. I didn't want to, and I was just like,
oh no,
like that to me, I don't agree. My mom, yeah, because my mom was cool with it, like that's fine. But my father will never, until I'm ready to like really, you know, settle with you, or I see like a future like on that level. Then yeah. On some fiance level, then okay, yes. But
wait, so did you introduce him to that?
I mean, I did, and he got the back end of it, so that was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot when you're dating somebody. Like, oh, when am I gonna meet your parents? Or
I'd be like,
See, I don't ask those kind of questions. I just feel like, you know, when they want you to meet them, when they feel like you're important enough to be brought around the family, then they will initiate it. They will bring you around.
Some people have certain timelines in their head.
Right.
Especially because they come up with these timelines based on their own family. Like if I was with you, if I took you seriously, 6 months or 9 months or whatever, I would introduce you to my parents. So like they judge your timeline based on their timeline. So you have to be very understanding and open-minded to go with someone else's timeline. And I think that's not something that everybody's cool with.
So I can go, but if you're forcing things, and that's, you know what I'm saying? If you're like, come to my, and it's like 3 months in, oh, my mom, and then like,
I've had to tell people no, like, nah, I don't want to meet your people yet. I think it's a little bit too early.
It's good to take it as a sign because, I mean, when things like that happen, you're actually learning what this person values.
Well, I feel like that's also them giving you a sign that they are pursuing something more serious with you also, if y'all aren't together yet or whatever.
Yeah.
So, because for some reason people want me to meet their people like the next month. Or
see, I wouldn't mind to meet my mom, and I wouldn't take that as, oh, I want you to. Because my mom was cool, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Now, for my dad, and I'd be like, that's me, like, okay, I'm really pursuing this.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like.
Yeah, Tia says, oh no.
Oh, yeah.
No one should force you to meet your parents. That's unnecessary. Meeting dad or daughter is no game. So I mean, basically, if you introduce somebody to your family, that's a signal to them to say, oh, yeah, kind of like elevating to the next level.
Sometimes, but then you got people who just introduce everybody to everybody.
Yeah. So it's really just based on.
I think
but see, that's low key me. Like I'm nice and friendly like that. I'll introduce my family, but my dad.
Yeah.
And also, like, think about people that have kids. Like that introduction to their kid.
That's
also a very big aspect of the picture. So like, I've dated people that have had kids. We did her thing for a minute, but she never introduced me to her daughter because of the fact that she wanted to make sure that I was where she wanted to be.
I have no problem with that.
I don't introduce anybody to my daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
And I agree. I feel like you
That's because if your child gets to like you, then that's another conversation you have to have with her.
Yep, exactly.
Her or him. So it's like it's a very slippery and tricky slope. You know what I mean? So that's another part.
Now, people that are open, is there something wrong with that?
If what?
Like people that are like, oh, you know, they introduce everybody to their family and stuff like that.
Well, there's something wrong with what, seeing the kids?
I mean, anybody from parents, cousins.
See, I'm open. I don't mind. It's no issue. But my whole thing is, it's all about the position, how you're doing it. Mm-hmm. If it's like, if you're on the notion of, oh, I'm introducing so we can like marry and stuff like that, then I'm like, well. But if you're just, because I'm open and you're open too, you're just like, oh, it's my family and.
Wait, so is that more of a big deal when men do it? Like, if a man asks a woman to meet his family, do you think that that's a bigger?
I think it depends on the relationship, but I think most people it's a big deal.
I think it's
Yeah.
bigger when a guy does it because I feel like guys are not. I don't know.
They're
You're a guy.
open.
Y'all told me. I feel like y'all are not as open as
Yeah.
women to be like, oh, meet my family.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you guys know women. Because women are more prone to, oh man, I met his family. Damn. Like, okay,
You gotta-
so I'm moving on up.
You gotta explain what you're spending late nights with, not coming home if you live with your parents or if you don't. But like, why you not picking up my call because you know with another nigga? Who the fuck is this nigga? You know what I'm saying? So like, I think like women tend to have to explain a little bit more just because of being women, and guys get a little bit more leeway so they can actually prolong certain conversations as opposed to women. So I think that's another aspect of it.
So Chica brought up an interesting comment. She says, why is this letting yourself go conversation always directed at women? Men let themselves go.
No, I said
all the
It's not,
time.
yeah, no.
I definitely mentioned me. I said I don't
Yeah.
want I don't want to have her to go through my stomach first before she gets to the what you call
Wait, what?
the Lucky Charms. So I'm just saying, like, I care about my body enough that I actually put in that work
Yeah.
to ensure that I stay at least the same way you met me, as opposed to like just met myself.
Or close to it.
So
or
it goes
something.
both ways too. Because
Yeah, Chica, we're talking about everybody now.
Just everybody.
Yeah.
everybody got to put in that work. Everybody got to
Yeah.
go to the gym. Everybody got to eat healthy. All that shit.
Yeah.
So, closing up, if you've not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. It's right there. We had a lot of interaction in the chat. We definitely appreciate that. Share this channel with your family and friends. It's going to be something we're doing every Sunday. It's called Live Sundays by cTalk. Definitely appreciate y'all participation. Thank y'all for coming in today. It was
Thank you for
great.
inviting me.
Do y'all have anything to say before we end it?
Black men don't cheat.
Right. You see the shirt.
Don't forget that. That's the closing thing right there.
All right, so y'all don't
We
forget.
cannot end on that. End
What?
on something else. Black. That's the closing topic. I mean,
Oh,
no, that's
happy
not.
Mother's Day. to
Happy
all the
Mother's
mothers
Day.
out there.
I'm
Exactly.
dead.
Definitely, yeah.
Shout out
thank
to all
you
the
for spending
mothers.
time.
Yes.
Shout out to all the mothers. Subscribe is right there. We have fun content coming up real soon, so it's not just going to be live Sundays. We have game stuff and all kinds of stuff coming up. So if you subscribe, you're always going to get the alerts, so you can be in the loop on what's going on.
And
don't
like
forget-
it so other people can see
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
It's like tag
Definitely.
it.
I love this
see it,
interaction.
post
Y'all really brought up a lot of topics in the chat. We couldn't get to everything, but we
still
do
going.
review it. We do review it, and we grab topic ideas for future episodes on there. So, yeah, I appreciate that.
Comment
Thank you.
topics.
Y'all be good. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.